This may or may not be a true story. This may be something I read, or this may be something I experienced in real life. I'll leave all that up to the listener's imagination and what the listener wants to believe. But I'm going to talk about a psychedelic journey, a life-altering psychedelic journey. And I'm going to talk about it from a first-person perspective, as if it was me that went on this psychedelic journey. I used to suffer greatly from this body anxiety that I could never explain, and I still can't. It would be like an electric fence inside of you. My body would vibrate. At the time, I had no idea what it was. It would be so uncomfortable that I wouldn't want to sit still, but I wouldn't want to move. I would just sit on the couch for like hours, just like, I wish this would fucking stop. Just go away, please. Just go away. My body would vibrate. It was like an electrical vibrating charge. Sometimes I would get up and go into the garage and do just this fucking crushing workout. There was one time I went in and I did a 50 rep squat set with 225. Damn near puked. Got done. I felt good for about an hour or two, and then it fucking came back. I couldn't escape it. I would wake up in the mornings at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and couldn't sleep because my body would be vibrating. My skin felt uncomfortable. I didn't want to be touched. It was miserable. Looking back on it, I have a sensory processing disorder, and as I've gotten older, it's kind of gotten more pronounced. With me, it's a lot of clothes. You might see me fidgeting a lot, or like I have like these weird quirks, like with my face and my eyes. I fidget with my face and my eyes. I fidget and move my shoulders because I'm uncomfortable. Everything is uncomfortable on me. Nothing is about my body is comfortable to the feel. It's a sensory, and it was a sensory thing. I believe what it was that I could actually feel the vibrational frequency of my body. We all vibrate at a certain frequency. I believe that I could feel that. I don't know if it was raising to a certain degree and it was uncomfortable and I couldn't understand it. I don't know what it was, and I still don't know what it was. Now, I preface that. One night I may or may not have taken a large dose of mushrooms, and I turned off the TV, no music, dark room, as dark as the room could get. And I had done some smaller doses before that, and so this was a larger dose. It wasn't like a heroic dose yet. It was about 3.5 grams or so. It was about 3.5 to 4 grams maybe. I took it, and within about 45 minutes, that body anxiety started like multiplying, and it grew and more. I would turn the TV on. I tried to turn the TV on to occupy my mind. I turned music on to try to occupy my mind. I would get up and pace around the living room, and it just got more. It got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse. And I couldn't make it stop. I just got up. I sat down. I got up. I sat down. I paced. I sat down. And I was just sitting there thinking in my head, please, God, make it stop. Make this stop, please. And it wouldn't go away. There was no escaping it. There was nothing I could do to get away from it. And so I ended up putting on my hoodie, and I laid on my couch, pulled my hood up over my head, closed my eyes, and I started breathing. And I started focusing on my breathing. And I've never been able to really get into a good meditation state. I never really could meditate. I was never really a good meditator. I've been working on it a lot more now, and I'm getting good at meditating, but then I was not good. I was focusing on my breathing, and all of a sudden my breathing started getting louder, and like the room, like you could hear the buzzing in the room. I could hear everything going on in the room. Everything was starting to amplify, and my breathing was getting so loud. And then I started thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm going into cardiac arrest. I'm going to die. I'm not going to live. I'm breathing too hard. I can't take this. And then the vibrating in my body got so fucking bad. I just wanted to like rip my skin off. I wanted it to end any way possible. I didn't care how it ended. I just wanted it to end. And I was like, I sat there and I laid down, eyes closed, and I kept focusing on my breathing, and it got louder and it got louder and deeper. And it was like, my breathing was so loud, it was like echoing, it was deafening, echoing. And what I know now is that I was on the verge of an ego death. When your ego starts to dissolve, that you think you're dying, your body thinks your ego believes that you are dying. And I didn't know anything about ego death at this time. I knew nothing about ego dissolution. I knew nothing about psychedelics and ego death. And I continued breathing. Finally, at a certain point, I ended up submitting to it. I ended up giving in and just releasing everything and fully giving in to where it was going. And I started, and my breathing slowed, and I started to fade in and out. I started to like fade in and out of these little lucid dreams that I don't really remember any of them. And I would wake up and I would focus on my breathing, and I kept focusing on my breathing. And then I would fade back out into this kind of a meditative trance where I was asleep but not asleep, kind of like lucid dreaming, but not fully lucid dreaming. I don't know exactly what this trance would be, possibly like astral projection. And then I went into this one, and I don't remember. I saw myself in the future. I couldn't tell what I was doing. I couldn't tell what was really going on, but I was in my body in the future, and I was living. I had reached my goal of living for my purpose. I have been looking for my purpose and meaning for life, and my meaning. I've been looking for it forever, and even after this dream, I've still been looking for it. But in this dream, in this whatever, I was I was in that state. I was in my body in that time, in the future. I was living my purpose, but I could not tell what I was doing. And I think that the medicine did not allow me to see what I was doing because I still had to figure it out. It's not going to give you the answers. I still had more discovering to do, but I knew I was there. And then I watched, it was like I was watching myself. I was in my body in the future, but I was also watching it at the same time. And then that scene, what I was doing, it peeled away like an onion. And a couple years before that, I was watching. And then and that peeled away like an onion. And I was watching it years before that, or the times before that. And it kept peeling away and peeling away and peeling away. I was watching the process to get to this destination where I'm at my goal. I was watching the process in reverse. I was watching it reverse engineer itself. I was looking at how to get there in reverse. And then I was looking down at my body at the present time, not dreaming. I wasn't dreaming. This was a legitimate, I was looking down at my body. I don't care what people think. You were dreaming, that's not real. I don't really give a fuck what you think. You want to talk about, science doesn't fucking know shit about this universe. Science can't tell you shit about the human mind. The human mind is the biggest mystery in the entire universe to science, so don't even think about coming at me with your fucking stupid ass science bullshit, because science is completely ignorant about that, and that's a fucking rant that I could get off onto a long tangent about, but I'm not going to. So yes, I was looking down at my body, lying on the couch, curled up in a ball, taking long, deep breaths. then I felt myself fly. I felt myself fly down into my body, and it felt like I felt the collision. I actually felt my projected body hit my actual physical body, and it jolted me up, jolted me awake. I sat up, and I immediately said, I just have to start. I don't even know where that came from. I have no idea. It just blurted out of my mouth. At the time, I had no fucking clue what that even meant. I was just like, okay, I gotta start. What? Okay, I gotta start. I was covered in sweat, and I ended up just laying down, thinking about it. It was one of the most beautiful experiences I could ever talk about. It was absolutely amazing. It was an incredible experience, but I still had no clue what the fuck it was all about. Now, what people don't understand with these psychedelic journeys is it's not that couple of hours. Yes, that few hours is it can be life altering, life changing, everything. It is the integration process that follows. I've tried to explain this to people, but it's not during that time that changes your life. It's the time after that, as you integrate and think about it. And it can take months and months. This one's taken years. But the immediate after that, and I have no idea, I can't explain this, and if you fucking science people can talk about science, then explain this one to me. I have not had that body anxiety once since then. I was having it for several years before that. Sleepless nights, uncomfortable, god-awful, just wishing I could fucking disappear, not live anymore because I couldn't take it anymore. I'd not had it one time since then. Now, when I look back, and I've been trying, like I said, I've been integrating, I've been on this search, this huge, deep search for a long time still, and it's just beginning. I realized that was an ego death. I realized that I had an outer body experience. And I realized now, just came to realize, that when I said I just have to start, I knew that meant I just have to start, not procrastinate. But now I know that I have to put aside my ego. The ego. I have to master the ego. I have to leave the ego behind, because the ego is what breeds the fear. The fear of, you don't start something because of fear of failure. That fear is a survival mechanism created by the ego. I have been scared to follow after my purpose. I've known my purpose all along, but I've been scared to follow it out of fear of failure, out of fear of what people think, out of fear of people making fun of me, out of fear of people talking shit, out of fear of not being good enough, out of fear of not having enough to offer, out of fear of not knowing what the fuck I'm doing, because some of this stuff I have no fucking clue on how to do. But I never started because of all this fear and what people would think. But when I sat up and said, just get started, that's exactly what it meant, was just fucking get started. Don't put aside the fear. You don't know how to do it, you'll learn. All this stuff. My purpose, I know my purpose. I told Bonnie several months ago, I said, my purpose is to be a healer. I'm here to be a healer. I was like, I would love to like just quit my job, move out to the Amazon forest, and learn from a shaman and become a shaman. And she was kind of like, well, why don't you do it? I was like, well, I can't really just like quit my job, move out to the Amazon rainforest, and become a shaman. And then it hit me a while ago that that's not that isn't. There's other ways to be a healer. I've always enjoyed mindset coaching, helping people with their mindsets. These people that get into these woe is me, self-pity mindsets, people that are addicted, addicts like myself, people that struggle with body image, people that struggle with motivation, people that struggle with fitness, that struggle with nutrition. There isn't many people that know more about nutrition than I do. I might not have a doctorate, but I could probably go in and argue with somebody with their doctorate. There's not many people. Nutrition isn't that hard. It really isn't. There's not. I mean, you could go to school and get a PhD in fucking nutrition, but it's really fucking simple when you break it down. So it doesn't matter if you have a fucking doctorate in nutrition or not. Training, it's the same. It's really fucking simple. You got these people that complicate it and talk about, oh, the bicep femoris and, you know, the origin and the insertion and blah de blah de fucking blah, because they want to fucking talk about all the books they read. No, it's easy. It's really, really, really fucking simple. I can make it very difficult, but I choose not to, because I want to pass my knowledge on to people and help people. I don't want people to think that, oh, wow, look how smart this guy is. He went to school and he read some books. You know, to be honest with you, you want somebody, you're going to hire somebody to build a house. You want somebody that has several degrees and read books on how to build a house. You want a motherfucker that's gone out there and built a house. Also, you got these personal trainers who look like they've never touched the weight in their fucking life. Are you going to go out and ask somebody to build a house that they built their own house and it's fucking fallen over, dilapidated, half sideways, fucking got nails sticking all over the fucking place? Or are you going to go to somebody, a personal trainer, that looks like they lift? That you can look at them and tell, okay, this motherfucker knows what he's talking about. Yeah, you're going to go to the guy that's doing it. Doesn't matter how many books they read or what degrees they have. You want the person that you can look at and tell, wow, they're really doing it. That's what I want. So I've come to learn that that's my purpose. That's the way I can heal people and help people. And it's all came to me through a psychedelic experience that I had several years ago, that I have just now starting to figure out and understand. But it's because I didn't stop trying to figure it out. I didn't stop trying to integrate it. I kept trying to fill the pieces in and put the pieces together and learning more and more and more. And like I said, this may or may not be a true story. I could just be fucking telling you a whole bunch of bullshit and lying, and it might be a story I read, might be something I heard online. I might be talking about someone else's experience through my first person, through my first person talk. So, may or may not have happened. Who knows? I'll let you decide.